Hey, what's up guys, DarkArmedDuelist Integrity doing a Water Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited for you guys because this deck is a really amazing deck that revolves around summoning out Water Dragon Cluster and Water Dragon. And I even have a dinosaur package in this deck to back it up. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards like in your name in the description of a single video, getting a signed card sent in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron, along with test hands. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing a single copy of Water Dragon Cluster. You really only need a single copy of this card because it has the ability that cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned with the effect of a bonding spell or trap. And if this card is special summoned, you can activate the effect that affect monsters your opponent currently controls cannot activate their effects, and you also drop their attack to 0 until the end of the turn, which is a really powerful effect to help you OTK the opponent. And also it has the ability that you can quick effect tribute this card to special summon out 2 water dragons from your hand or deck in defense position, ignoring their summoning conditions, which helps you out a lot because it's going to get you 2 level 8 monsters on your side of the field. We're then playing 2 copies of Water Dragon. You only really need 2 copies of this card because you're going to special summon it off your Water Dragon cluster, but this card is really handy, especially if you're going up against a fire deck, because when this card is faceable on the field, the attack of fire and pyro type monsters become 0, which is a really powerful effect. And when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon out 2 Hydrogeddons and 1 Oxygeddon from your graveyard, which helps out the deck a lot to be able to just get more monsters on your field. We then play 3 copies of Deuterion. Deuterion is really good in the deck as well because you can discard this card to add a bonding spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target a Hydrogeddon, Oxygeddon, or a Deuterion in your graveyard and special summon it, and you can only use each effect this card once per turn, but those are some really powerful effects. We then play 3 copies of Hydrogeddon. This card is awesome and super nostalgic to me, and it's just a really awesome card because when this card destroys a monster by battle, you can special summon a Hydrogeddon from your deck, which helps out a lot because these cards will swarm the field super fast. We then play a single copy of Oxygeddon. Oxygeddon is just basically here because it's a combo piece in the deck. We then play 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno helps you OTK in this deck, and it's super easy to summon because to summon this card, all you have to do is banish 2 dinosaur monsters from your graveyard, and then once per turn during the main phase, you can activate this effect that's a quick effect to destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, and if you do, change all attack position monsters your opponent currently controls to face down defense position, and at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent, and if you do, send it to the graveyard. And this card can also attack every single monster that your opponent controls as a 3,500 attack 1 monster. This card is absolutely insane and is just a really good boss monster, especially to combo with your Water Dragon cluster, because this card will drop all of your opponent's monsters attack down to 0. So this card can just help you go in for game. We then play a single copy of Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Pankratops is basically the cyber dragon of the deck that if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can just special summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon this card once per turn, and then you can also tribute this card to be able to destroy or target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. But this card is really, really good as a 3 of in the deck, or as a 1 of, in the deck, to be able to just pop a card on the field. We then play 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. This card is a really good 3 of in the deck and one of the best normal summons in the entire build because it has the ability that if this card is normal or special summon, you can take a dinosaur monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard, and you can target one of the level 4 or lower dinosaur monster on the field and destroy it, and then you can special summon a dinosaur monster from the graveyard in defense position, which helps you combo off with all of your different water dragon plays. This card is an excellent 3 of and one of the best normal summons in the entire deck. We then play just a single copy of Miscellaneousaurus because it's still at 1, but this card is a really good 1 of in the deck to just give you that added protection. 1 copy of Giant Rex because if it does get banished, you can special summon it back to the field, which is a really awesome effect just to be able to bring this 2,000 attack point monster back to the field to help you go in for Link plays or just help you go in for some XZ plays. We then play 2 copies of Baby Cerosaurus. Baby Cerosaurus is a really good 2 of in the deck as well because if this card is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon out a level 4 lower dinosaur type monster from your deck, which helps out a lot in this build. We then play a single copy of Petite Pterodon. Petite Pterodon basically is baby Ceratosaurus, but it special summons level 4 higher dinosaur monsters, and it also has the ability that the monster this card summons cannot attack this turn. We then play 2 copies of Archaeosaurus. Archaeosaurus is a pretty good normal summon in the deck, because it has the ability, if it's normal or special summon, then you get to search a double evolution pill from your deck to your hand, which is really, really powerful, especially being able to summon out your copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno off that effect. We then play 3 copies of Cyframe Gear Gamma. Cyframe Gear Gamma is just a really good hand trap in this deck to be able to stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for your plays. And it also special summons out a copy of your Cyframe Driver to your side of the field, which we play as a one of in this build, which can help us go in for synchro plays or link plays. But this card is really, really good in the deck to give you that added protection. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is really, really good in the deck to be able to help us get to our field spell, Lost World, which is absolutely nuts in this deck. 1 copy of Monster Reborn just to help us get our combo pieces back on the field. 2 copies of Double Evolution Pill, which is how we're going to be usually summoning out our Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which this card is just absolutely nuts because all you have to do is banish a dinosaur monster and a non-dinosaur monster from your hand or graveyard to be able to special summon a level 7 or higher dinosaur monster from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning condition, which is always going to be Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. We then play 3 copies of Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig lets us search any level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from our deck to your hand, so this card is pretty much the Rhoda of the deck. And then we play 3 copies of Lost World. Lost World is a great field spell for the deck because it helps out the deck a lot because all monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense except for dinosaur type monsters. And then once per turn, if a dinosaur type monster is normal or special summon, then you can special summon 1 Jurassic token dinosaur type Earth level 1 0 attack 0 defense to your opponent's field in defense position. And then while your opponent controls a token, they cannot target monsters on the field with card effects except tokens. And then once per turn, if a normal monsters on the field would be destroyed by battle or by card effects, you can destroy that many dinosaur monsters from your hand or deck instead, which combos off very well with your Petite Pterodon and your baby Ceratosaurus. We then play 2 copies of Bonding D2O. Bonding D2O is going to be the main way that we're going to summon out Water Dragon Cluster to our side of the field, and it's just a super awesome card in the deck because it has the ability that you tribute 2 Deutrions and 1 Oxygidon in your hand or field to special summon out a Water Dragon or a Water Dragon Cluster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And this card is treated as a special summon with Bonding H2O. And if a Water Dragon or Water Dragon Cluster is sent from the field to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, add this card to your hand, which is a really awesome effect. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing a single copy of Bonding DHO. Bonding DHO is really good as a one-of in my opinion, because it lets us shuffle 1 Deutrion, Oxygidon, and Hydrogidon from our hand or graveyard into the deck, and then we get to special summon out a Water Dragon Cluster from our hand or graveyard. And you can banish this card from your graveyard to add a Water Dragon or Water Dragon Cluster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which can help out a lot. I actually did consider playing this card as a 2-of in this build because it's super, super good. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Bahamut Shark because we can detach a material from this card and summon out Totally Awesome, which is a really good walking negate for the deck to be able to just stop the opponent from using certain cards, being able to counter them with Totally Awesome, and also getting us out a 2600 attack point monster. We then play a single copy of Evilzar Dolka because it's also a really good walking negate, but it does require 2 dinosaur monsters to summon it, which is extremely easy in this deck. And during either player's turn, when a monster effect is activated, you can detach a material from this card, negate the activation if you destroy that card or destroy that monster, which is really, really awesome that it's not a once per turn and it can negate twice. So this card is always my go-to XZ play. We then play a single copy of Lagia. Lagia is really good as well because it's also a walking negate when a monster would be normal summon or special summon, or when a spell or trap is activated, you can detach 2 materials from this card and negate the summon or activation and destroy that card. This card is really, really good in the deck. We then play a single copy of Number 97 because we can use this card to be able to help us OTK our opponent by summoning out number 100 to our field, which is going to gain attack points equal to the amount of ranks that are currently on the field, which with both of these on the field will be 9, giving us a 9,000 attack point monster. And you also play a single copy of number 38, because when you use number 97's effect, you're going to summon out your copy of number 38 and number 100 and then overlay one with the other one. So we play a single copy of 38 to make that card, which is super good in the deck. Also, this card can negate spell cards, which does come up every so often that you want to summon this card over the number 100. And then we play a single copy of Double A Zeus because we play so many different XZ monsters. We then play a single copy of Cyframe Lord Omega because it can get cards out of our opponent's hand, and plus we do play the Gamma package in this deck. One copy of Access Code Talker so we can pop cards on the field. You can play Boral Sword if you want to, just to go in for game, but this card helps us out a lot because it gets us multiple pops on the field. Play a single copy of Unicorn to spin stuff, IP so we can go into Unicorn during the opponent's turn. Both of these are really good in the deck. One copy of Pentastag because this card lets our monsters do piercing damage that it points to, so this card is really good. And then finally, one copy of Secure Guardnet and a copy of our Salaman Great Alamirage to work with Double Evolution Pill, because when you normal summon a monster in your field that has less than 1,000 attack points, you just link into this card and then link this card away for a Secure Guardnet, giving you your non-Cyverse type monster, your non-dinosaur type monster in the graveyard to be able to use Double Evolution Pill with any other dinosaur monster, which is really good. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really fun deck to be able to play with. If you guys have never played with Water Dragon, you definitely should, because it's a super fun deck and very interesting that we actually have an entire deck that can play Water Dragon. I hope we get more support in the future for this deck because it's a super cool old school card. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.